Hello everyone, how are y'all doing? Check all my stream settings. Um, if you are watching this on repeat, um, when the video comes out, we'll put some timestamps so that you can skip all the preamble because, as much as it's nice to hear us chatting, you probably have no context for it. So yeah, we'll stick a timestamp for all the key bits for you to look at later. Oh, seems like there's a lot of you there, California. Nice. Um, yeah, I guess this is a good time for time zones, I feel. Um, okay, so is everything okay sound and video wise? Y'all can see my Novelcrafter Cozy Mystery open and everything. Although now I'm about to change the tab, so that makes it kind of awkward. Um, okay, now I've got Notion open. So, oh, Bristol, amazing. Someone near. Okay, right. Let's get started. Okay, so for everyone, the Notion link is pinned to the top of the chat, and it's also in the description. For those who are watching again on catch up, the live chat will be available about 24 hours after the live stream goes on. It's just YouTube taking its sweet time, getting everything sorted. But don't worry, it'll all be there. I will try and read out people's questions before answering them, and yeah, just keep giving me feedback. Like, I want these streams to be helpful for you all, but also, to be coherent. That usually helps. Oh my god, 1:30 a.m. You are a trooper. I mean, I'd say go to sleep, but if this is your time that you're awake, then yeah, great. Um, okay, so this live session, we're going to be working on beats and writing a novel. So there is a previous live stream within the Little Red Riding Hood set of videos where I took different types of beats and tested them out with different AI models just to kind of see how that was going and how different models kind of reacted to the same kind of input. However, this live stream and the accompanying class that will be coming out hopefully this week are focused on the crafting of beats, kind of using AI and tweaking prompts and seeing what's going on to try and make your own set of beats for a chapter that can kind of take you through. Now, there's kind of the caveat at the beginning that everyone writes beats differently. I'm going to go over this a little bit, scrolling a little further down. So the way I kind of write beats is very vague, usually, in the sense of kind of I like, especially when I was kind of making kind of going through like my past novels, I tend to be very kind of I give the key points, but I like the stuff in between to be filled. And that's usually how I write. I kind of have a vague kind of bullet pointed list, and so it kind of translates that way. However, you might be completely different. So I've got a few different from the community. Mary, she is very much the kind of every action is kind of stated in the beats, and kind of it's more a matter of how of the AI writing it into or turning it into prose form, and that again totally valid. I often do that if I know what my conversations are. Um, Mari again, she kind of um she does more kind of that like every step kind of vibe. Corey does especially for his first beats in a what are words? The first beats in a chapter or a short story. He will often kind of use the codex to his advantage. He will say the time and location, and then he gives kind of like the beginnings of the story, and it kind of carries on from there. So, given all that, how can someone teach kind of how to write beats in your style? And that is hard. So I'm going to kind of try and give general principles and work on it that we're all kind of like, we're all writing beats. The AI is not going to give us the exact beats that we want. However, we're going to try out different things. If you have requests for me to try out different prompts, I am more than happy to do that. And we can just, see how things go. Again, I don't believe I've done any GPT-4 or any other models today. I think I've just done some 3.5. So I'll be able to like look up how much today's session costs if anyone is interested. Okay, session aims. We are going to try and create the beats for as much of the cozy mystery as we can, whilst still going through kind of the aims of the class. We want to show what happens when we don't give the AI enough information. So like how the beats turn out if we just give it a really vague chapter summary. And like that is totally fine to do that if you want to, but we're just going to have an explore and see what happens. We are going to then go through and edit our beats, kind of like human edit, to ensure that the beats give enough data, because often or usually when we're writing, we're wanting like, I don't know, like 200-300 words is kind of what I usually choose. I know some people will do like a beat and they'll just want like, 50 words of good prose out of it. Others will want, to try and get as much of the chapter as possible within one beat. And that is, again, totally valid. Everyone has their own way of doing this. So we're going to see and make sure that our beats are meaty enough to include all of that in. And then finally, we're going to do a bit of a comparison to see how different AI models go about generating beats and kind of like see which models lean towards certain things, which lean towards others, kind of have an experiment. And you can kind of watch me go through it so that you can try on other models yourself. So that's the last part of the lesson. I've kind of got this little grid here. Let me just make this full width for y'all. Okay, so in this I'm going to have models. We're going to add more. I'm going to go for your requests, like what you want to see me test out. I kind of just put a few of the main ones there. And I want to have different criteria to rate it as. So I've thought of, are the beats enough, kind of fleshed out enough to give 300 to 400 words of prose? I feel like that is something that's important to me when writing a beat. And so I'd like to hear what you guys would like the other criteria to be. Like, what is important in an AI generated beat for you, or a beat set for a chapter? I'll give you all a couple of minutes, but it'd be really nice if you could comment below, because it means then we can do some ratings and kind of actually get a useful set of data for the community to share. So this will be shared with everyone, and by seeing this, it means that newbies that come along will, be able to kind of have an idea of what they want out of the AI and stuff. I mean, so yeah, not safe for work generally is like, if it's not filtered, you're fine. Like, so basically not GPT, not Claude. Does it generate dialogue without prompting? I will put quality of NS for... I will, for the purposes of the YouTube stream, I won't do any not safe for work generating. However, I'll do that after and then give you guys some ranking. So does it stay close to the desired plot? And then spaces. Will it have good flowing dialogue, or does it feel stuck? Okay, are there any others? I've probably got room for one or two others, and we can just see how things go. And maybe like, I'm thinking for each scene we could maybe like do whatever one's the best, we can generate everything in that, and then in another model so we can kind of compare and contrast. And also if there are any other models, I guess. Okay, so I've added one myself. So how effective is it at adding action beats, as in focusing on action rather than emotion? So like I don't mind if it like I don't mind when there's a focus on motive, but when it's saying when it has half the beat is just like an emotion that's like half that would end up being, you know, kind of verbatim spat out. I'm kind of like that's not what I necessarily want. I don't want the AI to assume these things. I want to be able to like tell it, no, no, these are the emotions the character is feeling. And then also, does it stick to the desired tone? So we don't want anything too gruesome happening in a cozy, you know, yada yada. So yeah, okay, so yeah, I think does it stay close to the desired plot, chapter outline, and then actually maybe for this one I'm going to put pacing. Pacing of the beat slash. Does it stop where we want it to? Okay. Amazing, right. Okay, so I think we've got some good categories there. So that will probably be like the bulk of the second half of the session. We'll kind of go through, just make our beats, have a bit of fun, you know, see how things go. Okay, so yeah, so what makes up a beat? Like, I asked this to GPT because, you know, I was like, what helps it? If we're going to be then writing with AI, what does the AI want? So it was saying kind of things like intentions and goals, emotional states, conflict or tension, settings, setting details, which the codex is perfect for in this case, character development, pacing and timing, dialogue or action. So kind of like, I feel like when I do beats myself, I focus a lot on the dialogue or action. But it kind of made me think, okay, so what I then asked the AI what was the most essential for an effect to write effective prose, and it was saying the character's intention or goal within that moment. So then it kind of got me thinking, okay, maybe that's something we can also explore with the beats, seeing kind of how if we phrase it as goals and response, if that creates different prose compared to just giving it kind of instructions. So that's something that I think would be fun for us to experiment with. As always, if you know how you want the scene to pan out, just literally, like, you know, just tell it. Like, you don't have to worry about all these things. Phrase it as step by step instructions. I'm gonna go. I'm working on a YouTube video, like a short form video on that, so that's fine. How to keep the AI from jumping beyond the beat? Yes, I think that would fit in with the pacing and does it stop where we want to? But yeah, that and we'll also go into that in the writing class next week, I think. We'll see. Okay, so we've gone through these. So if we go into the prompt section, okay, workshop chat. Okay, so before we start, I'll just check the chat. Sorry if you've already covered this, but is there a way of defining your style, feeding it to previous work to analyze? What are you? So Ethan, are you wanting to know about like? Are you wanting the AI to analyze your writing? Is that what you're asking? Kind of how to get AI to analyze it, or are you asking how to get the analysis that you've received and then put it in to keep writing that? Like defining your style, you can literally just in Tinker Chat or in, ChatGPT, whatever your preference is, you can take your text, put it in, and ask, just literally be like, please analyze the below text for X, Y, and Z. And then you can kind of condense that information and put it in a codex entry or add key bits into your system prompt and for prose generation and that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope that answered everything. Okay, so there's the system prompt, which has the key bits of kind of writing the story beats. I have made a copy kind of because I've been just working on my own for like the style of beats I like. And so the current, I included this. So yeah, the current Kate edited prompt, I've kind of bolded the section that I've changed. So I've kind of tried to get it to, I'm trying to like guide it to writing beats that will give a full chapter. Like I don't write 4,000 word chapters. My chapters are usually in the 2,000 mark region. But again, the amount of time things you cut out, it kind of helps. And I don't want the beats to say the internal thoughts. I would rather add in the internal thoughts myself. But that again, personal preference, so it might not be something that you want. In the last lesson, we did look at Mistral Medium versus GPT, and we saw that actually they were very comparable. Okay. Okay. So let's start looking at prompts. So I'm going to go into Tinker Chat and get... What models should we all start with? I'm thinking, I usually start with GPT, but maybe we should start with Mistral Medium, see how that goes, just as a kind of trying something different. What do you guys think? Either way, I'll set up everything. So I go on to scene beats from summary. So this is the copied version. Mistral Medium. See if there's anyone has any other preference. I'll go for Mistral Medium while I'm waiting. So I'm going to see how I'm going to test out the different versions and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm already seeing issues here where the AI is kind of, I've not plugged it in that Maya, so I'm going to stop this. They look like good beats, but this is an issue with my prompting. So I'm going to go again, select AI, boom, boom. I'm going to ensure that I'm going to put, instead of this, the Glenford Nook. So when Maya isn't looking, so I'm specifying that Maya is because she's the shopkeeper. She isn't at the shop. She is, well, she's at the shop, but she's not like visiting the shop. She is there. I would say when Maya is distracted by a commotion. I'm not sure what the commotion will be. We can have a think. Like, it could be something that's related to the plot. It could be something that ties in with other things later. We'll see what it says. We'll see what ideas it gives us. Mistral Medium, scene beats from summary, go. I mean, I don't know why I should be behind the counter refreshing fresh produce. Surely that would be like not behind the counter. But you know, maybe the Glenford Nook is a very weird layout. Restocking the produce when she hears a commotion near the post office section. Okay, that would give me a decent amount of prose. She turns to see Edith Mullin arguing with a customer over a lost parcel. Sparky, who had been lying quietly at Maya's feet, perks up at the sound of raised voices and begins to wag his tail. Okay, so I would edit these just in the sense of like, we want it to be from Maya's point of view. So that would be something that, especially if you're working with multiple points of view or multiple stories, what I often do when I'm writing, I'll often say the point of view character above the summary, just to kind of give the AI that nudge. Because obviously it's then going into Gwendolyn's point of view here. So I'm gonna please try again, but tell the entire chapter from Maya's point of view. We only see what she can see. We only see / know what she can see / know. Conversely, if I give detail beats, the AI will almost write. Yeah, so I think you've got to kind of like choose how much information you give it. But if you give too much of a detail, it will just write it into prose. So you've kind of got to get a balance between the two. That was to Callie, who was saying that if she gives too detailed beats, the AI writes that verbatim. Okay, it seems to have followed. It's giving us just as many beats. Okay, interesting. Let's see what it says. Maya is restocking the fresh produce bins at the Glenford Nook when she hears commotion coming from the post office. She turns to see Edith Mullin arguing with a customer over a lost parcel. Doesn't notice Sparky slipping away. So again, we'd probably have to edit that, like, because obviously the shop is not at the same thing. So I think this would be a point where I would kind of direct the AI to write something else there. We'll see. Maya rushes over to Sparky, apologising profusely to Gwendolyn. She tries to calm Sparky down. He's too excited by the smell of peanuts. Okay, I mean, this kind of doesn't work because there are rare and expensive variety that are subpar. Okay, so it's kind of going out on a limb. It's pulling in different things like the competition, things that we don't necessarily want it to know, but it is interesting that it's trying to get her to have a. It's kind of, this is running on, like, it's kind of interesting that it's giving a mystery before the story starts. I think there is definitely things that we could take from this and use in the chapter. However, we would have to work out, like, it would take a bit of like Kate wrangling. So, but it's done a good job at keeping, like, avoiding the emotional stuff that I personally don't want. Like, these are kind of like structured beats how I'd want it. I'd probably merge them together, you know, add things, remove stuff, but it's a good starting point. I'm going to now go and see if I can, let's clone this. Whenever you're given a chapter scene summary, develop a list of highly detailed scene beats. Don't be vague, write out specific ideas. Make sure all beats are logically and temporally coherent. Make sure they, not mech, make sure they are all told from the point. Okay, Space, you'll be able to answer this. Where is the codex for So if I go to, no, what am I looking for? General purpose system prompt. Is there like a point of view thing? Like one of these for point of view is kind of what I'm looking for. The point of view. Limited third person perspective. Well, I was wondering if there was a different, like, if it's because it's not dragging from a scene, if it's the complete also shows you. There's also scene point of view type. Ah. Okay, so point of view, context point of view, scene point of view type, scene point of view character. Okay. Would those work? So that was if I did a open squiggly brackets. So if the scene has none, it always falls back to the novel. Okay, brilliant. So I'll just go for scene point of view because this story is entirely told from Maya's perspective, so that kind of helps. From the point of view of. Okay, so I'm going to put these prompts in, don't worry. So whenever you're given a chapter/scene summary, develop a list of highly detailed scene beats. Don't be vague, write out specific ideas. Make sure that all the beats are logically and temporally coherent. Make sure all are told in limited third-person perspective from the point of view of scene point of view. Be precise in your wording and clarify ambiguities. Ensure that all beats you're written are able to cover yada yada for the entire chapter. Focus on actions, ignore emotion, focus on action. Add additional action beats to fill in the gaps where needed. The normal scene point of view is the full. Oh, scene point of view character, okay. Amazing. Is there anything else that you guys would like to try out in this prompt? Ensure the beats and contemporaneously with the scene summary. Have I spelled that correctly? Contemporaneous. Yes. Okay. So I will pop this. So the current prompt, what I've done is I've gone for like the original section, and then this is what I've replaced that with. So we'll see how it goes. We'll try with Mistral Medium again. I was quite liking that. And we'll go with the same same prompt. So this might be a case of I've not given the AI enough information to write beats for the information that, or for the story I'm wanting to tell. I've kind of been too vague. Okay, arranging fresh produce. Here's a loud crash. Okay, so it's still kind of gone for that Sparky's point of view. Holding a handful of scattered envelopes. What I would probably do is like maybe the door opens and someone enters and the waft of peanuts comes in, and then that customer that opened the door collides into Edith. There is that kind of kerfuffle and then stuff happens. I think that would be how I would phrase this. Okay, well, like that last beat. Ugh. Yeah, thanks Gwendolyn for understanding. Okay, so this is kind of kept more in line with what I was wanting because I think that's probably the ending contemporaneously with the beat part of the prompt that's kind of worked in there. So that's interesting. I'm very interested in that actually. I did like some of the kind of the mini mystery, so that would be something that I would go back and look into. So go back and look into the potential mini mystery at Gwendolyn's patisserie from the from. So I'll tell it to do that. I'm also going to quickly name my chats because otherwise that will go bad. Open thread. So this was Beats prompt 2, chapter 3. Beats prompt 1, chapter 3. I'll put Mistral Medium. I can delete that one because that was the one that went wrong. Okay, so now what we can do is we can play around. Is there anything you guys would like me to try differently in this beat prompt and see how it goes? I've got a few ideas. Okay, so I put this prompt doesn't tend to cut things off within the summary timeline. Does tend to cut things off within the summary timeline. However, if you want more creativity run off, then you might want to include these extra bits. However, it's kind of I like what it's doing for my stuff, so I think I'll keep that for now. We'll see. Is there anything else you would like me to test in prompts, or like something else to kind of come out of the prompt for the beat writing? If not, I'm going to go for some kind of like editing to do with motivation. Can you ask it to expand with a few character tidbits? So by that, do you mean to expand to like give more information about the characters, or like what exactly do you mean, Anne? So she has to for it to expand with a few character tidbits. Yeah, do you mean like help you learn more about the characters, kind of? Um, SSN, I'm curious if you ask it to write in first person, if it gives a better result from seeing through Maya's eyes. That is interesting. I will try that on the next prompt. So I've put for this, before you write the beats, take a breath and define the motivations of each of the characters that appear in the scene. And I've kind of added that into the formatting. I'll run that, and then I'll go for the asking it to write in first person and see if it follows better. It might lead to difficulties with the writing, but I'm not entirely sure. We can explore. Oh, darn. Okay, more character development within the scene. Okay. Okay, while that's running, I'm gonna... Wait. Okay, so edited prompt 3 is going to be writing in first person. Edited prompt 4 will focus on... Okay. Okay, so what do we have? So we have Maya Rivers. She wants to maintain order in the shop and prevent any damage or disruption caused by Sparky. She also wants to ensure that Gwendolyn's new recipe is not compromised. Sparky is motivated by the smell of peanut butter and wants to get into the patisserie to investigate. Gwendolyn wants to protect her new recipe and keep Sparky out of her patisserie. She also wants to maintain her reputation as a top-notch baker. Okay, so commotion in the post office area. Did I think? Nope. Okay, so it seems to be very much that the post office, rather than the bank, is what is more likely to cause issues. Interesting. Okay, so it's people arguing about the line. Okay. Okay, I like that. Reminding of the color-coded lines. Is that in the codex? I don't think it is. But it's been a while since I've written this codex entry, so who knows. Oh, it is! Oh my goodness! Color-coded lines on the floor! Though they're often ignored by locals. Oh my god, it pulled from the codex for that. Oh, that is so cool. I mean, I didn't read that much about the codex entry when I pasted it in, so okay. That is nice. Okay, Gwendolyn is seeing Sparky approaching, quickly moves to block the door. Oh my god, Gwendolyn chasing Sparky out. Gwendolyn returns to her recipe, shaking her head and chuckling to herself. Okay, I like that scene. It's given good kind of context. I do like that it's kind of... I think by prompting it this way, it gives the character motivations, but then uses those to fuel the scene. So I think if there was a scene with more conflict in, having the kind of AI establish what the character motivations are first, I think that will help. Interesting to see, though. Okay, let's do our Prompts. You want a copy of this one? Oh, okay. So I will take spaces. So in edit this, space has said that have the beats written in first person when you have your protagonist as global entry and set up in the point of view. Otherwise, the AI doesn't know who I is. It should be fine because we have. I will double check before I generate the beats, but we do have it. Told in. That's a very small change, but we'll see how it goes. And while I'm here, I will also. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, Sammy.
I've just made.
Okay, so it's quite hot. Yeah. Thank. My husband has made me some tea. He is the sweetest ever. There's no sugar in it. I know. When we have prompt preview, we'll be able to see all these things. Okay, so what was I doing? Copy, 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 copy. The limited third person perspective, point of view of them. I was wanting to add more character development within the scene. Ensure the beat you've written. Get rid of that for this one. Focus on character and add in more details for how each mentioned grows or changes in the scene. If that's not quite what you mean, Anne, let me know, because we'll be working on the first person perspective prompt first, so there's a bit of time. Writing, yep, Maya, that's fine. Chat. Ugh. And I keep forgetting to do this. Bum. And then I need to change the AI. Copy, copy, copy. I'm guessing it is. I really should name these better. What the hell? Okay, well, I mean, ignore all of that. Let's see if that. Ugh. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm not entirely sure if copy, copy, copy is. Let me. Okay. Okay, I'll stop being silly with my multiple refreshes. Boring. Chat, you are boring. Okay, it's still doing. Okay, this is interesting. So just changing it to first person has seemed to add more kind of like conversation. It's made it a little bit more kind of like rosy. Okay, interesting. Um, sense of unease. Okay, interesting. Although I do like the idea of this person causing a conflict being Sebastian. You know. Um, okay. What do you guys make of this? This particular one. Character development. Okay, so this has started adding some GPT-isms um into it, which like is fine. It's just not what I think kind of I was wanting, but then again it's giving some pros. Um I mean it's a little bit on the nose. Oh, that's sparky. Yeah, okay. The prose is very clunky. Although the fact it is suggesting some is interesting. Okay, so Call of Hands. Which is your favorite set of beats that you've seen so far? Do you like it where it's kind of done the more first person kind of like putting it in a more closer perspective? Did you like that first person one? Oh my god, it's still going. Okay. Um did you like this one where it's tried to give a bit more character growth, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily done it. I'd have to have a look. What about the one with character motivations? Yeah, let me know. We can have a vote and I can add that into the document. I'm just going to copy the paste the prompts while we are doing that. Beats in third person, but makes it. Okay, so it keeps the beats in third person, but makes it much more limited third person. Um, included some dialogue. Let's have a look. I feel that this chapter, or like this particular one, has kind of overloaded. Okay, vote time. Do any of you, which one do you want to see? I think I might do edited prompt one. I think that was my favorite for like for doing the tests for the AI models. However, I would like to hear what you guys think if you've got a different preference. Um, yeah, let me know. So edited prompts, uh, one which was just kind of keeping things temporal. Uh, prompt two that had the motivations at the front. Prompt three that kind of had a closer point of view, and prompt four that tried to like give some more character development within the scene. Which prompt should we go forward with for testing out the things, the different AI models? Hmm. Okay, I'm not sure if I don't know what the lag is, so it might be that or not, or you've not got any preferences. Um, if not, do you have any preferences for the models that we test? Okay, so we've got one vote for number four, character development, one vote for number two. Okay, interesting. Does anyone else have any votes? If not, I'll go for number two, actually, the motivations. Okay, models. I'm gonna test, get rid of. Could you do for your main character a codex entry, like one of their have I as a reference? I'm not sure if that would then tag any I that's within a word, but would a just an I on its own just count? I'm not sure. You have to ask Space, but that was something I just thought of on the fly. Then we see all of my. I can't remember who does Ouroboros. This is embarrassing. Capybara. I'm not actually sure what. Yeah, Mistral Medium is working really well. I think I'm gonna keep that in my list. I was just seeing if there was 0.3, 0.8, 0.5. One point two, 0.8, 0.2, 0.2, 0.8, 0.2. We'll try these. Yeah, the model, like if the model, especially when I've got so many like FTs in there, like it takes me forever to find anything. Okay, so we'll stick with these for now. I think that's a good start so I don't go insane. Um, let's pick a scene that is a little bit more. I mean, as I say, there's a little bit more tension, but no, this scene is perfect. I'm going to, like I have been doing kind of before, I'm going to take this and kind of just like edit bits to make it so that the AI can tell more, because I know what I'm talking about, but no one else does. Locations. And then, is there anything in the manor house? An abandoned manor house built 300 years ago that is now up for sale as the owners have died. Okay, so Maya, Sparky, and Alice attend. So Alice is Maya's grandma, and in the second chapter, she makes it clear that she wants to go and join a protest. So they go amongst the protesters she speaks with, and then I've got some characters. There's a scuffle when Archie. Okay, so let's get rid of Archie there. There's a scuffle when Archie and some of the men begin to shout at Sebastian, who is watching the protest. Maya goes to get a drink for Alice. On the way back, sees Sebastian and Malcolm having a heated discussion, but can't hear everything about it. Alice demands they go for post-protest drinks. Let me put this. Ah, that is. They just appeared for. That is the beat. Oh my goodness, that was slightly stressful. Okay, so we're on the hour, 4 o'clock. So we're gonna take it through, go in order. GPT-4 Turbo, GPT 3.5 Turbo, Mistral Medium, Claude 2.0, Ouroboros, Gemini, and we'll see how they go. And I would like you all to actually give me some like feedback. Like I want some help with filling in this table. So if people could give me, how can I do this? Wait. Not what I wanted. I wanted like. that to go across there. So we've got the okay, so then we have at the bottom the little bit that has all the scores, and then we can kind of write up here. We'll see how it goes. So this is GPT-4 Turbo. Using the character motivations prompt. Okay, so this is GPT. Maya wants to support local community. Sparky just wants some snacks. That sounds pretty legit. Alice wants to stand up against the sale of the manor house, keep up the community's morale. Lillian wants to rally supporters and share information. Gwendolyn's showing a dissent, preserving the town's heritage. Archie is passionate about preventing the sale, highly protective of the community and its traditions. Sebastian is observing community sentiment. Okay. So I mean, that bit I like. Okay, so the actual beats. Mayor arrives at the protest with Sparky in tow, ensuring the dog's lead is securely held. And Alice is at her side, carrying handmade signs, clear, bold lettering that shows their stand against the manor house sale. Mayor scans the crowd, identifying familiar faces, and waves at Lillian, who is distributing flyers. Sparky tries to greet other protesters, and Mayor gently coaxes him to stay put. Lillian approaches, shakes hands, shares worries. Sparky wants the samples. Gwendolyn joins in. Oh, I like that. They've like got some cupcakes that she's giving. That is really sweet. Maybe another mention of the oh my god, what if in book 2 Sparky has to go on a diet because of how much he's eaten in book 1? So I don't think Sparky should eat the thing, but okay. Suddenly the crowd's attention shifts as a commotion starts near the front, and Maya cranes her neck to see Archie pointing a finger at Sebastian, who watches the protest with a composed expression. Maya, keeping a firm hold on Sparky, moves closer, calming Sparky. Maya glances back to make sure Alice is safe. Going against the lemonade. Okay, she goes. Okay, I'm very. Oh my god. Or maybe the other dog eats all of Sparky's food. Maybe like the other dog is like just like, you know, one of those dogs that devours their meal straight away and then goes into the other dogs and like tries to be the dominant. Like it's like a tiny little like, I don't know, a baby miniature spaniel or like a Jack Russell Terrier or something, like something really tiny that just like is just eating. Oh, poor Sparky. Okay. So we've got the first set of beats. Kind of read through them a little bit. This is GPT-4 Turbo. I would say the beats were very good. I really like this progression. I feel like that arguably would be more than the kind of 2,000 words I go for normally in a yeah, we could go for a pug. But yeah, arguably I have like you could probably get like 3,000-4,000 words out of that. I'm very happy with the action steps. It didn't generate dialogue without prompting. No, but gave conversation topics. Pacing of the beats, does it stop where we want it to? Yes, because we had at the end of the thing, Alice demands they go for post-protest drinks. Does it stay close to the outline? Yeah, I feel it does. Do the beats flow, or does it feel stilted? What do you guys think? I feel like yes, it does. Yeah, how effective is it adding action beats? It's added in some action, so very. And does it stick to a desired tone? Yes, I would say so. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Anne. I feel like yeah, it gets like a yes across the board. Like it didn't give dialogue as in like exact lines, but it basically kind of gave the conversation. I'm happy with that. GPT for chapter 4. Let me just so you can all see. I'll give you the beats that it does. Okay. And then I'm going to go very up to the top. That chat. Paste. Select AI. Character motivations. 3.5. Okay. But yeah, if any of you more have thoughts on the rankings, I'm like genuinely really interested to know. I've put now in the document the beats so you can kind of look back on it while you're listening to me generate some prose and drink some tea. So this is 3.5 turbo now, the November 6th option. Okay, so that's more limited instantly. I can see that it is kind of it's only given 3 characters, so it's already more limited in kind of what it's understanding. Also, Maya was supporting Alice, so not quite right. They arrive at the protest holding signs with slogans like "Preserve our past," "No to developers." The atmosphere is tense, and some villagers are engaging in heated discussion with Sebastian and his team. Maya speaks to Lillian, expresses her concerns. Gwendolyn approaches, showing solidarity. A scuffle breaks out. Alice expresses thirst. Okay, I mean, the fact that she's going to the pub is a bit extreme. I was just kind of expecting a fountain. What do you guys think? Um, I mean, like, this technically, yeah, I mean, this technically does everything that want it to, just not as well. Eh. The very technical, eh. Um, more stilted than GPT-4. I mean, it does stay close to the desired plot chapter outline. I think that also might be my prompting that's done that, to be fair. Um, does it give enough information? Okay, I'm gonna change that to yeah. Let's add in a verdict. Less good compared to GPT-4 Turbo. Too vague, less engaged with the characters. Good to know. Is high, medium. Okay, I've got high hopes for Mr. on Medium. Okay, it's going for more characters. That is good. I'm glad about that. Then the traditional values, save the patisserie. Hey, and it's remembered to ensure Alice's well-being. Um, like, because that it does come up earlier in the story. So the fact that it's kind of remembering these things, or like not remembering, but it's probably like looking at the outline maybe. Um, okay, that's good. I'm happy with those motivations. Open that. Theme beats. The join the process. Okay, I like again. I like in Mr. Medium and in 3.5 how it gave ideas for what the signs might say. Um, I like that she does that. She moves her gran away. Okay, they're going to a nearby stand that time. That's good. Um, okay, interesting. This has not stopped where I wanted it to. Um, um, I don't know if it has. Not really. Does it stay close to the desired plot or outline? Um, yes. It kind of also feels a bit more stilted. I feel like it's kind of not giving any additional information. Yeah, there's just not that detail that I would like. Even that I'd want. It's kind of like it feels like it's. I think what it feels like is it's taken this and put it into sentences, and that's not what I want. Like I liked GPT. Pop this in. I liked how GPT-4 kind of added bits in, but like just to improve. Oh yeah. So and yeah, for discovery writing, like if this is what you want in a model, then or in a generation, then that's perfect. And you can keep these in mind, like for you, the fact that's why I tried not to do ranking of like highest to lowest. So does it stop where we want to? No, that might be a positive for you. So it's kind of like take the chart and use the data kind of how it'll benefit you. How effective was it at adding action beats? That's weird because I had high hopes for Mistral Medium based on the other one. Maybe this prompt doesn't work as well with Mistral Medium. That could be an option. Does it stick to the desired tone? I mean, I guess yes. Um, or two character motivations. Am I? Okay, it's giving all the characters motivations. Oh, I like that. Sebastian trying to drive a bakery into bankruptcy. That would be interesting. I would quite like that. Okay. I mean, in the sense of like, I think that would be worthwhile having as part of the story. Um, I like again Maya's protecting Alice. Oh, I like that it's given a specific conversation there. It's kind of like giving some idea, like she could hear like snapshots of that. Okay. Although that doesn't flow quite as well. Okay, so I mean it's given actually quite short. Okay, so does it give enough for a full chapter? I think it might, because it's given some specific ideas for conversations. It's the beats are very short, but I think so. It's given conversation topics. It's stopped where we want it to. Um, yes. Do the beats flow or does it feel stilted? No, I find that the beats flow. I quite like some of the ideas in this. Um, it's not really added any extra action beats. It's kind of stayed very much to the script, although it's embellished it. And it sticks to the desired tone. So it's kind of like I feel like this is kind of a nice medium between the two. It kind of sucks that GPT-4 Turbo is the best and it, costs most. But on the other hand, you get what you pay for. I think that's kind of like it's just one of those annoying things in life. Claude chapter 4. Okay, let's see what some of these. So what we're doing now. Eroboras. Do any of you have any more models that you would like me to try? Okay, it's given all the character motivations. I really don't like the formatting. Oh, thank God. Um, it's given at least. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Um, uh, okay. It seems to have gone for like, the entire prose. Um, does it stay close to the desired plot chapter outline? Yes, but adds creativity within the beats. Okay. Yeah, we've got Gemini coming up. Bagel, okay. Yeah, impenetrable bar. Okay, then it's just gone crazy. I mean, it did write 940 words, but um, okay, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give it another chance because it might be all right. It might just be that I've put stuff in too much. Okay, well, this feels better already. Um, but yeah, okay, it's giving the motivations. Oh, interesting. It's setting it outside the Drunken Duck, not outside the manor. Interesting. Hey, hey, we've got our first yes. Okay, and then it's gone crazy. I'm gonna put a little asterisk. Kinda good until it goes cray. Um, I mean, this is just weird. Like, what kind of alien language is that? Maybe I think it must be the context window. Like after it gets to a certain point, it just can't keep going. So with beats this detailed, it's just not wanting to do it. Um, I mean, interesting. Um, so how would y'all vote for this? Does it give enough information? Um, no idea. Does it stay close to the? Um, and does it stick to the desired tone? Maybe. Okay, we'll have a look at that maybe after. Yeah, if we've got time. Yeah, Ouroboros is. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe if I had a bigger context window, it would be fine, but I can try it. Oh yeah, sure. I'll copy the Claude one. Okay, no, it keeps repeating the same thing. Okay, that's a shame. Claude, copy. Okay, Gemini. Character motivations, Gemini. Okay, I didn't read any of that as it was. Okay, character motivation. Gwendolyn, Archie, Sebastian, Malcolm. Okay, got those. Darken it. There you go. Mayron with a proto sign. Okay, so a little bit hammy there. Um, okay, I'm not entirely sure if it's got the concept of beats here. Okay, so I feel that this feels stilted to me. Like instantly I'm kind of getting that just like it feels stilted. Um um uh yes, not much creativity. Oh right, that's just a yes. It's not very effective at adding extra beats. Give that Does it stick to the desired tone? I mean, like, kind of, I guess. Like, no. I'm kind of disappointed by this. I had high hopes for Gemini. Does it generate dialogue without prompting? No. Does it give enough information for a full chapter? Not really. Like, okay, so, um, paste that in. Okay, I'm going to set up the other two models. Are there any other models as well as Toppy and Bagel that you guys want? Okay, let's give that a go. I will give Bagel another chance. Or Gemini, rather. To be fair, I was using the pros, so I'm going to give it a 0 point. Copester, do you have a temperature that you use more with Gemini? I'll put it at 0.7 for now. Um, does anyone have any settings for Bagel that they would use for this? If you could give me some, that'd be great. 0.7, okay, for that one. Oh, is Dreamwrite Go another video creator? Oh, amazing. Toppy. Oh, I've put in the wrong thing. Does anyone have any bagel settings for me? Seven nine one two. Okay, yep, I've got them from there. That's fine. Oh, hello, Miss Kitty writes. Yeah, I mean the class will be completely here like as soon as this finishes. Um, yeah, I mean my live streams kind of are also a space can watch and see where the pinch points are in using the software. So it's great for troubleshooting. Okay, so we've got the Toppy, we've got Bagel, and we've got Gemini 0.7. So we'll give those three a go. Okay, it's... I wonder what it's going to say about beats, given that it's, this is... Okay, I feel like it's not really got the... I mean, it's kind of got what the motivations are. It's just done it in a really weird format. So Mayor Sparky yells, holding signs during the crowd. engage them in conversation about the manor house and their concerns for the village. And it's done the... Oh, okay. Weird formatting is, I think, what I'm going to put first. Yeah, sure, I'll try Open Router's Cinematica as well. Okay, so it's continued on past what you want, or what I was intending. Okay, so maybe? So it might give enough for... Oh, this is toppy, 1 minute. Actually, wait. This is going to annoy me otherwise. Maybe. Does it generate dialogue without prompting? No. Beats do not stop where we want it to. It kind of went off beat, gave some... I feel... For me, it felt stilted. How effective is it at adding action beats? It did it. Like, not great, but it did it. And didn't stick to desired tone. Yes, but boring. And okay. Eagle. This is the point where I kind of wish we could have multiple tabs open at once, because I would run them all and then it would save me having to copy and paste all the time. So, you know, if you want something to help with workflow. That is true. Let me add that in. Okay, so just... Okay, so Bagel did the... This might be due to context size, but it did the motivations. Oh my god, that is adorable. Sparky's just carrying a sign saying Popper. Oh. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Okay, it's having her interact there. That's interesting. That's something new. Okay, I'm not mad with this. Like this is quite decent actually. I'm popping it into the document. Hello. You can see all of today's documents in here. It's better. Okay, what do y'all think of bagel? Okay, interesting. Okay. Does it give enough to maybe? Yeah, I feel like getting it to go to the drunken duck twice is kind of a bit like while it has them go to the pub. Yeah, so when they go to the pub, that's the next chapter, so I'm fine with them just being like, let's go to the pub, because like the next chapter will deal with that. And I've kind of got I've already written the summary for that, but if you were pantsing, that wouldn't be great. Um, does it generate dialogue without prompting? Um, no, but give conversation topics. It stops where we want it to. Bearing in mind, I did in my prompt, it does say to do it within the time frame of the beats and not go on, so it is following what I want within the prompt. Um, um, I think outside of GPT 4.5, 4, sorry, I think this is my favorite outside of GPT 4. How effective is it adding action beats and does wait. Yeah, no, I'm not mad with that. Bagel. Although I now really want a bagel because my stomach is rumbling. What's next? Gemini 0.7. Okay, so I'm going to do the Gemini 0.7 and then the Cinematica. If you could all, like, if you have any questions or anything, if you could let me know, like, if you could write them now, it means then I can kind of address them as much as possible and we can kind of get everything spoken about. So yeah, any questions, plop them in now while we do these last two models. Oh my God, can you guys hear my stomach? Okay, interesting. Gemini immediately at 0.7, much better. It's giving lots of motivations. Okay, interesting. I really like the motivations and how it's gone into that. Okay, it's rushed the beats a little bit. I think maybe gives enough. Does it generate dialogue without prompting? No, but it's given conversation topics. Like it has. Maybe limited. What we want it to. Does it feel? It feels a bit stilted. A bit, not very, and I guess. Okay, Cinematica. Base, do you have any settings you want me to try with Cinematica? If not, I'll try 0.7. Actually, base. Oh my god, that's amazing. Like, just as I type in 0.7, I see your 0.7 come up on the screen. So the settings, God. I feel like this almost needs a video of itself, but essentially temperature is like how creative a model is. So every model has a different threshold though, but basically the higher it is, the more creative it is. Max tokens is the maximum output. Frequency and presence penalty, I always get mixed up, but it's kind of like basically punishing it for doing merds more often. So it kind of stops repetition. And top P, what is top P? I made a document on this and now I can't remember. 1 minute, let me go on my prompt document. I mean, someone might have told you this, might have answered you by now. Link address. There you go. There is a document on the parameters. Okay, that's their chat. Let's Gemini 2. Oh my god, yeah, that would have been useful. I didn't want to have Nia get charged. Okay, so character motivation, Cinematica. So this is the last one, guys, and then I'm gonna go off and have dinner because my stomach has been talking for the last 10 minutes and it's hungry. Well, it's definitely gone for the screenplay aspect space. Kind of in terms of how it's formatted it. How was it? Oh, brilliant. It's gone in first person as well. Wow, okay. I mean, it's creative. It's adding stuff. This is weird. Oh my god, how do we even start writing this? That's funny. I like that. Oh my god. Police have arrived, so Maya's family have arrived. I'm going to go with no. Does it generate dialogue without prompting? Yes. Pacing of the beats, does it stop where we want it to? No, I guess. No, it definitely didn't. I mean, it's creative, but it didn't stay within, kind of. How effective is the adding? Kinda and kinda. Okay. Whew. Okay, we've got there. So, let's up to there. Make that full screen. Okay, so we've got our table. I've given you all the pros. So I think, okay, so one, does anyone have any questions? And two, so one questions, two, which is your favorite model for writing beats? Like, you can say your favorite model and then your favorite cheat model if you like GPT-4, but I think for me, GPT-4 Turbo would be what I'd use from going on. Like, I would pay for the pricier. Like, if I wasn't to use GPT-4 Turbo, I would maybe use a combination. Bagels seem to be promising. Maybe like a combination of bagel and Mistral Medium. Yeah. I might. Okay, I'm going to try something. I don't know if it'd work. I'll have a look for you. I'll open up OpenRouter and what I'm doing now is I'm seeing if I can get Bagel to expand on Mistral Medium's settings. Let me open up OpenRouter and OpenAI. Okay, interesting. So this is I'm just distracted as I'm loading up my OpenRouter as well. This is a cool combination actually. So this was I took Mistral Medium, which were fine, the beats, but they weren't that creative. And then with Bagel, I've asked for an expansion, and it's giving a lot of creativity actually. I quite like this. So I will copy and paste that for you guys. That might be something worth playing with. We don't really have that much time to do it now, but if you'd be interested in me doing a little bit more of that next session, do let me know. Like let me know now, and I can plan for some stuff. But yeah, it does seem like combination is working. Okay. So costs. So that bagel just then was 1 cent. Um, Cinematica was free. Gemini Pro was 0.3 of a cent. Bagel was about a cent. Um, just less than a cent. Free. Gemini Pro, third of a cent again. Ouroboros, third of a cent. Interesting that Gemini Pro sent out twice as many tokens input, which shouldn't be the case. Claude, 3 cents. Ouroboros, yeah, 0.3 of a cent. Okay, so, reasonably priced, but not like hugely. And I've used 4 cents with GPT-4 Turbo. But I think I did some other stuff with it earlier in the day, so that might not be the only message. I might have done something else with it. So it might be a couple of messages. But that, I think, is a reasonable, assumption for things. Okay, so I'll do some more combinations next week and then move into the writing. I'll kind of do a mix of the two, I think. Yeah, Cinematica, I think, would be a great, prose writing, if you wanted, something to kit bash with. You can maybe kit bash the prose and or the speech from that and then the prose from something else. That would be interesting. But yeah, I think GPT-4 and Bagel are the most promising for beats. I'll have a play around and see if there are any good combinations. If any of you guys want to as well, and you do any experiments and you find combinations that work, please let me know, because then I can share it with the community and we can all kind of feed off each other and get the best, I don't know, it's not super prompt, it's like a super chain of AI models that kind of, we use different ones for different bits and take the best of each and have a big GPT bagel Mistral sandwich. Yeah. So yeah, so we'll do a little bit of model crashing, model mixing tomorrow, next week. And then I'm going to go on to, I think, starting to do a little bit of writing or converting of it to prose. Depending on what you guys have. So let me know. Okay, so before I go, let me know what topic do you want me to cover next week. I will stretch while that happens. Oh, my neck. Yeah. Okay, if no one has any questions, that is fine. I will see you all next week. Oh, you're very welcome, Trisha. I really enjoy these. This is very I feel like you're all very positive and affirming, and it's just it's nice. Yeah, no, I really, but yeah, positive vibes, everyone. I will, yeah, wait for all the messages. Have a good day, and I will see you all next week.